I've been kind of itching to do a project lately, and I just had this idea for a cool project to do. So I had this idea to build a binary counter out of jack-o'-lanterns. In order to do that, we first need a clock circuit, basically just something that flashes an output on and off. And I've got that set up right here. I'm not going to bore you with all the details on how this is all done. That's kind of beyond the learning electronics for beginners stuff that I'm on right now. But I will put up a circuit if you're curious and you want to try experimenting if you're a little farther along with electronics. But I've got my clock circuit built, got my output flashing, and I've got a little potentiometer chip in there so I can speed this up and down if I want to. So my next part, I've got a synchronous 4-bit counter chip here that I just happen to have in my parts boxes over here. So I'm going to run my clock circuit into this as my clock to step through the binary counter. So we'll get to that next and I'll update you. Alright guys, she's a-working. Finally. These lights here represent my outputs. So these outputs, next I'm going to be hooking up some transistors to output current to my LEDs in the jack-o'-lanterns. So these are basically what the jack-o'-lanterns are going to do when I'm done. Well, now I'm working on my regulator circuit because I'm planning to run this off of a 12-volt lawnmower battery. You can see it's putting in about 12 volts over there. And it's putting out about 5 volts. And it's working great. Just thought I'd note, so that big capacitor there is actually supposed to be a 0.33 microfarad ceramic capacitor. But I didn't have any. So I had to substitute, I think that's like a 3.3 microfarad capacitor. But, you know, it's a battery application and it's meant for inductive transients, so I think we'll be fine, guys. I got some transistors. I'm going to be running my outputs from our 4-bit counter to the transistors to switch the transistors on, and then the transistors are going to drive these relays because I intend to put a lot of lights in the pumpkins, and we got to worry about current and make sure we're not drawing too much current and frying a bunch of our circuitry. Alright guys, I made a train. Can you hear it? I guess the next step is getting the lights for the pumpkins and hooking them up. Alright guys, so we're almost done. All of my little lights turned out really great and nothing got shorted. You can see here I got my little pigtails that I had off my light just wire nutted. I got all these wires going between the relays and the power supply. Actually, I ended up having to go put the battery on the charger because it ran out of juice, so I had to bring my little power supply from my room in here. But yeah, I'm just hanging these, suspending these inside the pumpkins. Easy peasy. Just like that. I got my little control board back here that you saw me build earlier. And got all my wires hooked up on my relay block here. So yeah, that's a wrap. We're all set up, ready to see it go.